Hey there guys, it's been a while since my last video, but today's just going to be a simple, relatively quick guide on what I would do if I were to start over again with about 1,000 hours on all of my profiles combined. Now, before I get started into this, I want to say that I don't have a regular upload schedule for the reason of, you know, I didn't plan on actually coming back to YouTube. It was more of just something, get bored, I post a video, hope it does well, type of thing. But with all of that being said, here is what I would do if I started over. First up, I would speedrun unlocking the bazaar. If I was playing on a normal profile, bazaar and auction house would be the two most used things in my experience. Throughout all of the time that I have spent, I put most of my time on this profile mining. I've also done a little bit of every other stat, though. And I'm waiting for some events to get alchemy up. If Derpy's in, do alchemy. I know it sucks. I don't know the current meta for, potions for XP, but I know you're just going to want to get it done. It'll be easy skills. You'll make good money from it and whatnot for early game. Pets, go and get the Grandma Wolf pet as soon as you can. I'm not saying you have to focus combat, but it's just a nice passive to have. Personally, I would start off with something simple to make money, like farming, or perhaps mining. Mining's definitely not as strong as it used to be back when I first started, but it's still a good, consistent money way if you enjoy doing that. And, throughout the entire game, I wouldn't say focus on one skill hard like I did with mining, obviously, as got 3 mining sets, and I can't sell any of them because I was an idiot and soulbounded them, and just some other random stuff. But if you enjoy, doing a mix of everything, go for it. But always make sure you have something stable you can go back to make money. For me right now, I seem to just be going to farming. I know that's currently the meta. I'm definitely not built for the meta right now. I'm only farming 36, I believe. Yeah, farming 36. And personally, I'm trying to get to 40 so I can get Fermento, as I want to use this skin that I just bought. So I've been farming mushrooms, and before I was doing mushrooms, I was doing pumpkins. I have sunflowers that I'm building, or have about to build eventually. I haven't started this yet, because I kind of forgot about it, and don't actually know what I'm doing there, so obviously, I'm going to recommend you guys look up guides. I'm not not the perfect guide for everything, but try to find a guide that's recent, within, I'd say 6 months or so, updated. Always do your visitors. If you're playing a normal profile, real easy. You can just, with some mods or whatnot, or just remember them, you can just click this, buy what you need, and just do all of your commissions or visitors like that. As in the later game, you're gonna thank yourself because you'll have a lot less to grind on the peony set for farming, as well as the rewards for it can be really good and make money, and you can get accessories from it, such as the voter's badge. That one's a little weird. I don't actually know how to get that one. Another thing that I would recommend is, if you are buying everything like this, don't do what I'm doing. I do it because I'm lazy. I'm gonna deny this guy. I do it because I'm lazy. Always buy order your stuff. It might take a little longer, but in the long run, it'll save you so much money. For example, the implosion scroll I have on this, I know that is a really big thing, and not a lot of people will go for it. I get to save myself about 8 million if I just buy order it. I bought mine for 2.10 mil, and back when I bought it, it was 220. So saved myself about 9 million. And this goes for everything. If I were to go to, diamonds, because I was trying to make a drill or something, and I just decided to buy one of these, or, we'll do 241 of these. Cost me 163 mil. But if I just bought order for 163 of them, saving myself 500 million. Or not, wow, 550 million, which is a crazy amount. Obviously, don't buy those, first of all. I know a lot of people don't really want to wait the time, but it saves you so much money. Even if you're, insta buying, if you just come down here to the forge, have the recipe unlocked, obviously, because you're going to need to, make what you were making. Go to the bazaar, buy, check what it takes. Wait, what? I didn't know you could upgrade them. Okay, I'm learning new things. Let's say I need... Oh, there it is. I need 13... 5 refined diamonds. It's going to cost me 10 enchanted blocks. If I just insta-buy... This is insta-buying, so 2.4 mil to buy 10 blocks. And if I were to just buy 5 of this, it'd cost me 3.8. So you're saving yourself money, although you will have to wait a little. SkyBlock is really just a patience game and how long you can focus on something. I sped run the game because I have a lot of experience with the old metas and stuff. All of the stuff that I knew is out of date. So I don't, not recommending any money making methods or anything like that. I don't know what's consistent anymore. Back when I started making money, gold mining in the Devon's mine made 20 mil an hour with my setup. Now it barely makes 4. Well, the base camp wasn't even in the game and whatnot. Events were real bad. Everything was just a lot different when I first started. That is another thing. In mining, if you do choose this path, don't touch the crystal... Well, you can obviously go to the crystal hollows, but don't do the crystal hollow commissions until your later game. As when, you have to go to one of these guys every single time. Or that was not the right example, but whatever. You have to go to those guys every single time, and unfortunately, if we do go to the nucleus real quick, I have the warp. This is the only one in all of the nucleus, and most of the quests are do something over in that area, then go all the way over here and do something, and then go all the way over there and do something, and then you come back, turn into 3 quests, and it's just not efficient. When you can just do your dwarven ones, which are all relatively in the same area. The only downside with the dwarven ones is you might have to wait for events, but waiting for events, you'll make a bunch of mithril powder, which is something that you should be trying to make as soon as you get into the mines, as you'll need it a lot later on. For the later game players who are actually in the... Oh, I should put on armor. Actually in here, though. First of all, Heart of the Mountain Tree, everybody has their own taste. My one full recommendation, though, is get Great Explorer Max so you can instantly open these. Because if you don't have it maxed, it will take so much longer. That was a bad example because I'd already... Hold on. Let's spawn one more. I'll make my way to Devon's for my next thing. First of all, as you can see, it'll be a lot rare. But you'll have to look at these particles. And the particles are very finicky. Even if I'm looking at them, they might not spawn. So it's very, iffy. Meanwhile, with this, I can just insta-open them. Powder mining, this is just powder mining right here. You just mine big old squares. Most people use armadillo. I have a Scathopet because I dropped it and got lucky. You don't need a Scathopet unless you are super balling, basically. Now, a lot of players play with mods, which Hypixel does allow. But the one thing I recommend is that your mods have waypoints like this to tell you where things are. Now, this is wrong, which happens sometimes. But, yeah, wow, this is really wrong. But, with all of that, that's the mining path. Okay, that's your mining options. Sorry about that. It's your mining options that you have, okay? And then, for farming, I'm still really new into farming. I never did farming on my other account, basically skipped it. Barely started it on this account, as you guys saw with my stat. But farming, pretty self-explanatory. You get yourself your basic set of melon once you hit 25, and before you hit 25, you should probably use like the farm suit or farmer's armor, and farm pumpkins or mushrooms. Those are the two stages. If you are doing the garden, I recommend doing pumpkins first. There's a lot of tutorials out there, and I might make one later on how to build an efficient like pumpkin thing or mushroom one. For if you have mushrooms unlocked, you could do mushrooms instead. And it's all about just where you are in the game for the progress. As for me, right now I'm still trying to get XP, so I use a epic farming or epic rabbit pet because the legendary rabbit pet and the epic one have a pretty good price difference, but my epic gives the same amount of farming wisdom as the legendary one would, and I don't care about the third perk, as the third perk for the rabbit pet is not that good because I personally don't have that many farming minions, and then mythic is just for funny, as it's mainly for the chocolate event, which for some reason has seems like it's always happening right now. So that's what I would recommend for farming, like armor wise and such, pet wise. If you have enough money and are going for money from farming instead, use an elephant pet, a legendary elephant pet with the green bandana, but only use the green bandana if your garden level is above 7. Otherwise, the yellow banana or bandana, wow, has about the same effects or is better. As you can see, my pumpkin farm spans all of my plots here. And then over here, I have all of my mushroom ones. Both of these I did not come up with on my own. I had my co-op build that one, and I copied this one from a tutorial, and I barely know how to use it most of the time. But buying your things is going to cost a lot. If you're doing it naturally, you put your crops in here. So let's go to my sack. I don't have anything. Give me 1 second. Oh, actually, another thing while we're here. Your desk, you can do your SkyBlock. Your tools that you buy, I don't recommend buying all of them instantly like I have. I only bought all of mine because I, want to collect them all first of all, but also can change whatever I want to farm because I've also bought the farming toolbox, which is a new thing that I recently discovered. But with all of this, you can just farm up like potatoes or pumpkins or any crop. Go to your sack or inventory if you have them. Take them out and just bring them over to your composter and just click it in there. Or you can just click insert from sack and it would put it all in there. Then you have your organic matter, but you also need fuel. Now, fuel you can get by buying it from the farming essentials, which it is somewhere here. Right here, biofuel, which you can put into here, or there's other tiers like sunflower oil, which you get from the sunflowers, which I have over there. And you can get it from mining as well, and they also are used to fuel your drill, so all of the fuel is universal. Only deny something about the visitors is if they're like a weird one where they're asking you for 1,000 gold carrots and you like look at the rewards and they don't give you anything that you would want, turn them away. I have this one. There's one of NPC who I know comes in and asks for a bunch of gold carrots, and I've turned them away every single time because I refuse to make all of those gold carrots. Trying to think of what else for the farming path. Oh. Farming doesn't really take a lot to get into. It's a lot of time and brain deadness. As for if I were to continue doing pumpkins the way I have it, I would go over here and I'd just stand like this and I'd go like this, with my rancher boots on the right speed and all that other stuff. I'd just go like this, and then eventually when I got all the way down to this end, oops, When I get all the way down to this end, I'm standing, you know, blah blah. I just back up, and it's just a repeat of the process. Farming any of the crops once you've built like a proper farm, they're all like that. It's a very brain dead, you know, money making method. Very stable, solid. Depending on what you're farming, you can make good money. Right now, each of the things I farm make about 10 mil an hour, which due to my mining setup isn't a lot. But also, I don't mine a lot because I'm trying to, you know, even my skill tree out. For the other stats, I for fishing, you obviously come to your spawn, but there's now a new fishing area, which is over here. First, you talk to her, you do her quest. She'll send you over here to talk with her and some others here. You know, fishing merchant, you buy all of this stuff. It's a good start. Then catch yourself your engine, go over to the captain, and go over here, and then do all of your stuff here. I am only fishing 25, so I switch between 3 different sets of fishing armor. I have a lot of armor space. I use 2 different rods, so it's very, you know, I bounce around. Everything is random. For dungeons, they're really a big gamble. I wouldn't recommend them too early on, but they are good for, like, once you're set up for in the other paths. I rushed dungeons in both my different accounts because I figured dungeons would be fun, because that's why I got into SkyBlock. Also because, you know, everybody gets into SkyBlock to play the super good, you know, Hyperion and whatnot. But personally, I just don't think that it's a viable, you know, belief for new players to have to get into such a, you know, trying to get the best sword in the game. I'm on my 400 hour almost, and I'm just getting mine. I have a Terminator, though, which is the best bow, and I'll explain those in a second. But those are the main paths. You have your farming, fishing, mining. Now, there's 2 more that I haven't talked about, mainly because I'm very, very new at them. You have forging, which talk to this guy, who takes you all the way over to those forging islands to take you to do quest, and then you unlock Galatea. Galatea unlocks 2 different things called hunting. Well, it doesn't really unlock 2 different things. It unlocks another path called hunting, and with hunting, you can do, you know, your normal forging stuff. You know, get your axe. I have a really good one because I did do forging for a little to try to understand it, but I still don't. You get your axe, you break it, and then you have a chance to spawn these, which then you get your tool, you know, catch it when not. Or you have this area where Agatha is like the commissions in the mines, where you have your Heart of the Forest tree. I'm only tier 4, hence why I'm not saying too much about it, because I don't understand it. You know, you have your nets, you talk to all these NPCs to do quest. You throw stuff, you know, try to catch your fish and whatnot. And that is just about all I know of farming, or not farming, forging and hunting. Combat is one that I've been skipping because it's just kind of something you do passively throughout all of them. As, you know, if you do end up trying to do a few commissions here, you'll notice on the side of my screen I have Sludge Slayer, Goblin Slayer. So those 2 are like, you kill things, you get combat XP. Over here I have, well, I don't have any examples, but if I just come over here, yeah, that's another thing I'll get into after. If I come over here, you'll see that there are Glaciate Walkers. They drop a good set of armor early on, and you can only damage them with a pickaxe or drill. And as you can see, they give combat XP. But also, there are goblins that you kill here to get stuff. And you can get goblin eggs and goblin armor, which are both going to be important. Goblin eggs are used for drill upgrades, which I'll make a separate mining guide on because I actually understand mining. The next, like, options are weird. You have your enchanting. I already did alchemy, carpentry, rune crafting, taming, social. Those are all things you'll just do passively. But for enchanting, you're gonna have to do a little more actively. Well, that was where I set up my potions there. For that, you'll use your experimentation table, and what you can do is these little mini games to allow yourself to have more clicks, and then you can do the super pairs, which I can't show you an example because I have a mod that makes me play it. Now, I would highly recommend getting your minion slots up, as they're very important for your collections and stuff later on. So you don't have to collect as many, such as, let's say you don't want to mine 1.5 million redstone like I did. If you just have a bunch of redstone minions, they'll do that for you passively. I only have 15 minion slots, and I only use 12 of them because I don't really need collections. I definitely have to work on that. They're also a good way to make money passively, as for these quartz minions, I can mine quartz real easy. But they do sell for a lot per stack, and they just kind of run in the background of me doing things, which is very nice. Your other stats that you have to, your hidden stats, quote unquote, that you have to worry about are, your speed, your magic find, your pet luck, stuff like that. Those all have different things that you have to, figure out and whatnot. And I don't really understand them. I just kind of go with the flow. Like right now, I should be at 400 speed, but for some reason I'm not. And then you have your booster cookies that you can buy with real life money. I wouldn't recommend this. I've sunk a lot of money into this game, I will say. And honestly, I regret it a little, but there's nothing I can do about it now. The only thing that I'd really spend money on at this point is these upgrades, as they're all very, nice to have. I wouldn't really waste my money on this, not because, I think it's a bad idea, but just because this is always free. Always max this one out and then start working on other stuff. Whatever you max out here is always up to you on the order you do it in. I have done a lot of them. I have spent too much money on this game, and I'm willing to admit that. For, you have your pets over here, lady. You have your pet lady over here. And that is all that I can think of right now for my, early game guide slash, everything. But one thing I will say before this video ends is the auction house. Be careful with what you buy, because I meant to buy a hype that had, all of the scrolls, the best weapon in the game. So it had the Wither impact ability. But I bought one that just had Wither shield, so I lost out on about 400 mil. Oh, that is another... Yep, that's what I forgot. MP. One of the most important things in SkyBlock. Do it as soon as you can. What the... Do it as soon as you can. Maxwell, he's the GOAT. Jacobus is a scammer. You'll learn that as... For me, it takes 12 million to unlock 2 more accessory slots. So these 2 right here. But... buy and make as many accessories as you can early on, because the more MP you have, the better his buffs will be. Early game, you can get, you start with the protected, inspired, ominous. If I didn't have so much magic power, all of these would be really bad. I have a lot of magic power, so I get good buffs from it and whatnot, but I definitely don't have maxed. And you're going to need a lot of magic power to do some of the later game stuff, such as Kudra, or being able to use your Terminator effectively, and other more, late game topics, such as that. But that is going to be all for this video, guys. If you've made it this far, why? First of all. Second of all, like and subscribe. It costs you guys nothing, and it helps me out a bunch.